Manipur CM leads crucial meeting with ruling MLAs resolved to launch mass operations against Kuki militants within 7 days following Jiribam killings and pressed to reconsider extensions of UPSPA. Despite NPP withdrawing support, 4 NPP MLAs attended ruling MLAs meeting while 9 ruling MLAs remain absent, raising concerns over political instability. Kokomi demands amendment to ruling MLAs resolutions, threatens to lock down all central and state offices in Manipur within 24 hours over failure to act against Kuki militants. And Meitei Alliance urges United Nations to intervene over human rights violations in Manipur following brutal killings of women and children in Jiribam. Hello and welcome. You're watching ISCOM English News. This is Nancy giving you the news in details. In a significant meeting of all the ruling MLAs of Manipur, chaired by Chief Minister N. Biren Singh at his secretariat last night, as many as 26 legislators present in the meeting has adopted 8 resolutions aimed at addressing the escalating violence and unrest in the state. The meeting, which came in the wake of the recent killings in Jiribam, highlighted the government's resolve to take decisive actions to restore peace and ensure justice. One of the primary resolutions involved launching mass operations against the Kuki militants who were allegedly responsible for the brutal killings of 6 women and children in Jiribam. The meeting set a deadline of 7 days for these operations to begin. Additionally, the resolution reaffirmed the state's appeal to the central government to review the impositions of the UPSPA in Manipur. In a move to expedite justice, the meeting resolved that the cases related to the killing of the 6 Meitei women and children in Jiribam, the death of a Ma woman who was burnt alive in Jiribam in November, and the killing of a Meitei woman farmer in Saiton, Bisnupur district, would be immediately transferred to the NIA. The meeting also decided to declare the Kuki militants responsible for the killings in Jiribam as unlawful organizations within 7 days, a measure that aims to increase pressure on those involved in the violence. The legislators further resolved that should the outlined actions not be implemented within the specific time frame, that would consult with the people of Manipur and decide on further steps which could include a more significant political response. Another key resolutions condemned the attacks on ministers and MLAs who were reportedly humiliated by assailants who burned and looted their properties. The legislators expressed outrage over these violent acts, describing them as barbaric. It was resolved that legal actions would be pursued against the perpetrators based on findings from a high-power committee that has been tasked with investigating the incidents. Despite the NPP officially withdrawing its support from the N. Biren-led BJP government in Manipur, 4 of the party's 7 MLAs attended a meeting convened by Chief Minister N. Biren last night, highlighting the complex political dynamics in the state. Notably, many of the ruling MLAs were also absent during the meeting, which was showed the participants of only 26 legislators. Among the NPP representatives present were Oinam AC MLA Irengbam Nalini Devi, Moirang AC MLA Thongam Santi Singh, Tamenglong AC MLA Janghenglung Panmai, and Kakching AC MLA M. Rameshwar. The attendance is noteworthy given the NPP's national president, Kornat Sangma, had announced the party's decision to cease supporting the Biren-led BJP government, citing a failure of governance in the state. A total of 11 MLAs were absent without providing any specific reason, despite having been notified about the meeting. Another 7 MLAs took leave, further diminishing the attendance. The absentee legislators include key members of the NDA coalition such as Speaker T.A. Satyabharta and several prominent MLAs, including Minister Y. Khemchan, Tongbram Robindro, Usam Deben, Y. Radeshyam, T.H. Radeshyam, Asabuddin, K.H. Raghumani, and K.H. Joykisan. The absence of several legislators, especially those from within the NDA, raises questions about the unity of the ruling coalitions and adds to the growing political instability in Manipur. Meanwhile, the Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity, COCOMI, has expressed strong dissatisfaction with the resolutions passed by the NDA legislators during their meeting chaired by Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. During a sit-in protest at Kwaramban Bazaar in Imphal last night, COCOMI spokesperson Khuraizam Athauba criticized the decisions made by the legislators, stating that they were unacceptable to the people of Manipur. Athauba, speaking to the media, issued another 24-hour ultimatum to the state government, demanding that the resolutions be amended in the interest of the public. He specifically objected to the government's failure to declare the Kuki militants responsible for the ongoing violence as unlawful organizations, as well as the lack of a clear military crackdown on the militants. In his statement, Athauba emphasized that the people of Manipur would not accept the government's current approach. He warned that COCOMI would escalate its protest if the government did not act on their demands within the next 24 hours. As part of their planned actions, Athauba announced that COCOMI would initiate shutdown strikes of all central and state offices in Manipur should the government fail to take actions on their demands.
And as per the resolutions that we have received, the people of Manipur is not satisfied with the resolutions taken. First of all, in the number 3 resolutions, it is mentioned that the resolution, they have resolved to start mass operations against the Kuki militants responsible for the killing of 6 innocent women and children in Jiribam within 7 days. But our demand was not just with the Kuki militants responsible for a particular crime. We have been telling that the crime has not just happened in Jiribam, it has happened in several other places of Manipur since the 3rd of May 2023. Therefore, the people of Manipur has demanded the state government and the legislators to fix responsibilities to the entire SU group, that is KNO and UPF all together, and operation has to be carried out against all those groups in suspension of operation with the government of India. So their resolution is not up to the satisfaction of the people. Another resolution is they are demanding for a declaration of Kuki militants for killing 6 innocent women and children as unlawful organization. As we have learned that the government of Manipur has already taken a withdrawal or abrogation of SU groups previously in their cabinet decision, and we are not asking for declaring unlawful organizations of Kuki militants responsible for killing of just 6 innocent people in Jiribam. We are demanding the entire SU groups to be declared as unlawful organizations.
The state government has announced the conditional lifting of the internet suspension on broadband services, ILL and FTTH, in certain districts following a review of the ongoing situation. The suspension, which had been in effect since November 16th for affected districts including Imphal West, Imphal East and others, was extended to address law and other concerns. However, the government has now decided to ease restrictions on broadband connections under strict conditions to mitigate disruptions to essential services. The lifted restrictions come with several safeguards, including the requirement of the static IP connections, the banning of Wi-Fi or hotspots used, and the blocking of social media and VPNs at the local level. Subscribers must also monitor and ensure compliance with these terms. Violators will face legal actions, and internet services providers must obtain an undertaking from subscribers before providing connections. Mobile internet services, however, remain suspended due to concerns about the spread of misinformation and public safety. The government has stressed that the suspension is necessary to maintain order and prevent violence. The Meitei Alliance has issued an urgent memorandum to the United Nations calling for immediate actions to address the ongoing human rights violations in Manipur. The appeal follows a series of horrific attacks by suspected Kuki militants on the Meitei community, including the abductions of brutal murder of 6 individuals, including women and children, in Jiribam on November 11th. The victims were found in a state of extreme mutilations with evidence of sexual violence and torture. The memorandum highlights the failure of the Indian government to protect civilians despite the presence of over 70,000 Central Security Forces in the region. The Meitei Alliance has called on the UN to conduct an independent investigations into the atrocities, urged the Indian government to take immediate actions and appoint a special rapporteur to monitor the situation. The group also demands urgent humanitarian assistance for displaced families, particularly women and children affected by the violence. Volunteers from several prominent organizations staged a rally in Imphal today, demanding justice for the victims of violence and the repeal of the Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958. The rally, organized by the All Manipur United Club Organization, AMUCO, Poirei Leimarol Meira Paibi Apunba, Manipur, All Manipur Women's Voluntary Association and Manipuri Students Federations, began at Kwakatel and proceeded towards Kaisampat Crossing. The protesters carried placards and chanted slogans including "Brutal murderers should be given punishment," "Repeal repressive and draconian law of SPA 1958," "OPSPA is a colonial law and it should be obliterated," "Stop Indians divide and rule policy," and "Long live Manipur." The demonstrators expressed their outrage over the ongoing violence in the state and called for a complete revocation of OPSPA, which they argue is a tool of operations and a legacy of colonial rule. As the rally reached Kaisampat Crossing, security forces intervened, preventing the protesters from advancing further. Faced with the roadblock, the rallying crowd was forced to turn back and retrace their steps along the same route. The Kokomi Jiribam branch has strongly condemned the brutal rape and murder of 6 women and children in Jiribam, allegedly by suspected Kuki militants. During a press conference held at the office, Kokomi Jiribam spokesperson Y. Ibomcha expressed outrage over the attack, demanding immediate actions against the militants involved. He criticized the government for its inactions and warned of further agitations if the government proceeded with lifting the Armed Forces Special Power Act in the 6 police station jurisdiction, including Jiribam. Ibomcha also called for the abrogations of the suspensions of operations agreement with Kuki militants, asserting that it had failed to prevent violence. The spokesperson emphasized that the Jiribam branch would fully support any actions taken by the Kokomi headquarters and urged the public to back the proposed shutdown of government offices. This protest, according to Ibomcha, would be initiated if the government failed to take decisive actions against the perpetrators and ensure justice.
November kita Tramathoi da Borogagi Kudong Tiba Toto Amada subdivision ki Jorogator da Tamtiva Mio ani Mai Haduna Hatkiba Amadi Mio Amadi Nupi Angang Yauna Nupi Taru Padana Tamchina Mio Begi Minuchi Yaudana Rape Toduna Amadi Piki Angang Simbu Power Mio Begi Minuchi Kangana Atok Kiba Asi Kukin Zona terrorism boy koina akan momong da koi ko ko mina condemn tawi aduga anisu ko na koina thamning sine haiba mihat asida generally ba culprit sing ase na government of India amadi on Manipur sarkar yeng dun lari ba sikari gino koi ba athu matam da adim miam khangna akan mama sairak view ha se koi ko mi gi anisu point ni aduga ahum so point da koina thamning sine asigumba sairak asida Jiribam Yauna Manipur PS police station Karada Armed Forces Special Power Act ASPA Thamdilibasi Kodakta Loktonaba Akoi Kokomi Maigedi Jiribam Akoi Akan Mong da Koina Kandem Tawi Kamong da Koi Kongan Junction Jagani Aduga Mari Suba da Koina hiding is na Government of India Amadi Manipur Sarkar gi su taunariba terroristing kudakta su tigi moisi laukthokadabani haibadi moisi unlawful terrorist haina khoi laukthokadabani makoisi miyoibigi minungsi chendraba haibadi miyoibigi hingsa gi thabak tawraba miyobi su gi ground rule leitraba haiba su party ni aduna makoisi miyam khangna government India amadi Manipur sarkar na masuk su ground rule dagi moisi su laukthokadabani aduga manga subada akoida kokomina khoi thamjariba kainodi अखोई कोकोमी की मयाई लोइसंग न लौरखिबा वारेप खुदिमक अखोई जिरिबाम कोकोमी जिरि ब्रांच नसु सगोली अदुगा सगोपसिदा अखोई मणिपुर एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज अमदी हेल्थ अदुगा महाई लोइसंग सिंगदि थादोक जगनी अदुगा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ब्लॉक सिंग अन मन खन बोथिंगन जगनी असना अदुना मरम अरगा अखोई जिरिबाम द लेरिबा प्रजापुन मसु कोकोमी जिरिबाम की ब्रांच तौरिबा खोंजंग असु सरुक याबियु हाइना कोकोमी माइकेदेगी अखोई
A torch rally was organized by the All Kaibul United Clubs organizations, Bisnupur District and Amuko, to protest the recent extension of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in 6 police station jurisdictions of Manipur. The rally, which began at Chandapur and concluded at Sagramt, was supported by various clubs and Mairapaibi groups. Participants marched through the streets, raising their voices against the government's decision to extend AFSPA, which they believe exacerbates the region's instability and human rights violations. The demonstrators chanted slogans calling for the immediate revocations of the law, which they view as a tool of operations. The rally emphasized the collective demand of the people for peace, justice, and the protections of their rights. The protesters also expressed their growing concerns over the ongoing security situation in the state and urged the government to reconsider the impositions of AFSPA. Another torch rally was held last night from Kairao Litan Makong to Irilbung Thongkong to condemn the recent abductions and killing of 6 women and children by suspected Kuki militants in Jirban. The rally was organized by All Kairao Mekting Club Coordinating Committee, with participants shouting slogans against the killings and extensions of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in Manipur. The protesters also expressed their frustrations with the ongoing crisis in the state, which has been in turmoil for the last 18 months. Speaking to media, the General Secretary of the committee, Jawar Rahman, condemned the brutal killings of innocent women and children against the ongoing crisis. He expressed deep frustrations over the failure of both the state and central governments to bring an end to the prolonged conflict. Rahman also criticized the extensions of AFSPA in 6 police stations jurisdictions, calling it an unfortunate decision given the current situation in the state.
Pan Helabirang Asibu, Central Government and the State Government, Karigumam, Usintasana Dabam, the Kansana Dabaki, Maonga, Lady Basibu, Ikoina, Yaning Daba, Hongok Cherry, Atuba da, Marala Jedraba, Chelsea Harpa Chenariba, Ukikulai Pivasing Asibu, Manipu Gomena, Chairak PBU, Amadi, Makoigi Matakta, Akanba, Chairak PBU Haina, Nixing Hongok Cherry, Amadi, Nasi, Manipuri Tangulaitana, Laizeram Laba, Mapam Kayamarumda, Armed Forces Special Power Act, Hamjanduna, Manipur Nahaka, Abu Tiamsing. Silak liba asibu kairaw makting coordinating committee maikai tagi yaning daba phongdok chari makha tarakpa manipuri da laibra civil society amadi club Mairapaibi khuding makna laurokpa thabuk thauram khuding makta all kairaw club coordinating committee maikai tagi khusam nana chatminagni haiduna amatoina yanana sahi tawjari
carried out by security forces in vulnerable areas of both Hill and Valley District, including in the region between Agijang and Loiching in Kangpokpi District. During the operation, security forces successfully destroyed 5 bunkers, 2 barracks, and 1 washroom used by militants. In addition, various items were recovered from the area, including an empty INSAS case, a 12-bore empty case, and several 7.62 SLR empty cases. Other recovered items include a pull-through, a solar plate with a converter, 28 blankets, 8 mosquito nets, a wooden coat, a pair of jungle suits, 6 combat T-shirts, and a range of miscellaneous items, including grocery and kitchen supplies. The operations was part of ongoing efforts to secure vulnerable areas and disrupt militant activities in the region. Security forces continue to intensify their operations in an effort to maintain law and order in the area. In a swift and coordinated response, Assam Rifles successfully saved the lives of 130 children, including 22 boys and 108 girls, who were affected by a severe food poisoning outbreak at Iklavia School in Moreh, Technopole district. Upon being alerted by the primary health center in Moreh, the Assam Rifles medical team immediately deployed to the site, bringing with them essential medicines and medical supplies. Under the guidance of Assam Rifles medical officer and in coordination with the Technopole chief medical officer, the team worked tirelessly alongside PHC staff to stabilize the affected children. Personnel from the Moreh battalion of Assam Rifles ensured smooth coordination and provided crucial care. Thanks to the timely interventions and joint efforts of the Assam Rifles and medical authorities, all 130 children were stabilized, turning what could have been a devastating tragedy into a remarkable success story. President of the All India Congress Committee and leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, has returned to the President of India, urging immediate intervention to restore peace and normalcy in Manipur. In his letter, Kharge highlighted the ongoing turmoil in the state for the past 18 months, which has claimed over 300 lives, displaced nearly 1 lakh of people, and caused severe economic distress. He criticized both the union and state governments for their failure to address the crisis, citing the lack of security, the closure of business, and the rising mental health toll on the populations. Kharge expressed that the people of Manipur have lost confidence in both the state and central leadership, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's refusal to visit the state aiding to their sense of abandonment. He called on the President to uphold constitutional duties and ensure the protections of the lives and properties in Manipur. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh took to X to extend warm birthday greetings to Union Minister Kiren Rijiju. In his post, the Chief Minister praised Rijiju's unwavering commitment to the development of the nation, especially the Northeast region. Biren Singh highlighted the minister's efforts towards the upliftment of every region, noting that his leadership has been truly inspiring. While wishing him a wonderful year ahead, the Chief Minister expressed hope that Rijiju's vision and patience will continue to guide the nation's progress, bringing further success and happiness in the year to come. Now the headlines once again. Manipur CM leads crucial meeting with ruling MLAs, resolves to launch mass operations against Kuki militants within 7 days following Jiribam killings, and pressed to reconsider extensions of UPSPA. Despite NPP withdrawing support, 4 NPP's MLAs attend ruling MLAs meeting in while 9 ruling MLAs absent, raising concerns over political instability. Kokomi demands amendment to ruling MLAs resolutions, threatens to lock down all central and state offices in Manipur within 24 hours over failure to act against Kuki militants. And Meitei Alliance urges United Nations to intervene over human rights violations in Manipur following brutal killings of women and children in Jirbang. Now that's all in this bulletin. Keep watching ISCOM English News.